Hi Smarties, and again, happy Earth Day. I am here with your science lesson for today, and we are going to do a fun project with the phases of the moon. Some of you told me in morning meeting that you've been watching for the moon at night, especially if you're howling at the moon. Take a second to see if you can find the moon. It should be extremely hard to spot the moon right now in the sky because it's almost a new moon, which means you're not going to see any of the moon lit up. So, if you've been going on to moongiant.com for the phase of the moon for the day, you will see that yesterday, April 21st, it was a waning crescent. So look at just this littlest sliver, okay, that you saw. So some of you are like, Miss Fanny, I hardly saw the moon. Well, look how much, only 2% of it, okay, is lit up. And then today, it's still a waning crescent, but you're probably not going to see any of the moon tonight. And then we have a new moon on the 23rd. So, continue watching for the moon. I am going to play some of the phases of the moon song. Hopefully you guys listened to that on, let's see, today's Monday, when we talked about the phases of the moon. Hopefully you listened to it. If you didn't, check out the full video. It's called Mr. Lee Phases of the Moon Rap. The full video is great. It kind of gets that the sequence of the moon, the phases of the moon stuck in your head. And then it also has some great facts about the moon. So I'm going to play a little bit of it right now before we get started on our project to kind of get us in the mood for this phases of the moon project that we're going to do.
It goes new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent. Those are the phases of the moon. Those are the phases of the moon. Those are the phases of the moon. Those are the phases. You see in the sky most nights, moon looking so fine, so bright, but it doesn't make its own light. You can see it because it reflects the sun's light. It don't really ever look the same. 8 different phases and they all have names. If you want to know why, then listen. It depends on the moon's position relative to the earth. This how it works. New moon phase is where we start first. When the moon between the earth and sun. Look in the sky and you see none of it lit. But if you wait a bit, you slowly begin to see more of it. Until we have a toenail-shaped crescent. Ain't this a great way to learn a lesson? It goes new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent. Those are the phases of the moon. Those are the phases of the moon. Those are the phases of the moon. Those are the phases.
Alright, I'm going to stop it right there so we can get started on our project. So, like I mentioned earlier this week, I said that we were going to do a fun project for the phases of the moon using Oreo cookies, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So, if you have some Oreo cookies, double stuff work best. If you don't have these at home, you can do the paper part of it with us, and then when you get some Oreo cookies, you can finish it on your project. So, if you have a big sheet of paper kind of laying around, that's what you're going to want. A regular sheet of paper will work just fine. I use it as like my placemat because it's big, it collects the crumbs, and then also we do our drawings first. The easiest way to start this off is to draw your sun, your earth, and then the moon phases, because then it makes actually doing the phase of the moon on the cookie a lot easier because you can refer to your drawing. So I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so here is my big placemat. You have the sun, okay, because remember come here. The moon is lit up by the sun. The moon does not produce its own light. It uses the sunlight, okay? Then you have the earth in the middle, because remember, where the moon is in position to the earth is and the sun is how it gets the phase of the moon. So, over here is where we start. That's why I put a little star. Okay, you start with a new moon. Okay, a new moon is, and I should have actually, I'm going to do it really quick while I'm talking. So the drawing is easier because when you see, and you'll see in a second when I'm done shading this in really quick. Okay, so when you see the dark, so new moon, nothing. There's no part of the moon is lit up. It's just completely dark. Okay? That is going to be the cookie. The black part of the moon. So this whole thing is going to be one side of the cookie. One half of the cookie. Okay? Then you go to a waxing crescent. Remember? Waxing, waning. When it's waxing, you're seeing more and more and more and more of the moon lit up until it gets to a full moon. When it's waning, you're seeing less and less and less of the moon until it gets back to the new moon. So, it's growing, meaning you're seeing more of the moon. So it went from seeing no light to now seeing a waxing crescent. A little bit of the moon, okay, is lit up. The rest of it that you see colored in black is the shadow, the dark part of the moon that's not lit up. That part is the cookie. The white part is the frosting. Okay, this will make sense when I show you how to do it. Then you have, okay, first quarter or half moon. Okay, so you have, again, your cookie. Okay, and now it's the first quarter or half moon. So if you see over here, it went from a waxing crescent, and remember, it takes a couple days, and then the next phase is a half moon. So you have half of the moon lit up by the sun, and you have half of it that is still in the dark. Okay, then you get more and more. So now you have a waxing gibbous. It's still growing. So you have even more of the moon. You can see how it grew past the halfway mark. Even more of the moon lit up. Okay, and less of it is in the shadow. So sorry. Hang on one second. Hey. Come here, guys. See, now. Go. So sorry. They saw something outside. Probably an animal. Not sure. Anyways. Then you finally, after your waxing gibbous, you get to a full moon. Okay? That means the entire moon is lit up. That would be all white because it's all the frosting. So the frosting part is the lit up part of the moon. The black part is like the cookie. Okay? Now we start to wane. We're waning. So we have a waning gibbous because remember we saw the whole moon. So now we got to slowly bring it back down. So now it's on this side. Pay attention to the side. Okay? Waning gibbous. This part of the moon is lit up. A big part. And this little crescent is in the shadow, the dark. Then you have your third quarter, your half moon. Okay? Half of the moon is lit up. Half of the moon is dark. Then you have your waning crescent, and that's what it is right now. Okay, it's even smaller than this. It's just a fingernail, but you have a thin little sliver of the moon that's lit up, and the rest is dark. And that'll be for a few days, and then it gets back to the new moon, and then it repeats its cycle. Remember, to go through this entire cycle, it takes about 29 and a half days. So about 29 days to get through this full cycle of the phases of the moon, okay? And there's 8 phases. So this is the fun part. If you want to, I would pause this right now, and I would do your paper first. And then when you're done with the paper part of it, come back for the cookie part, okay? You don't have to color. I colored mine because I really wanted to show you the representation of the sun, the earth, and the moon phases. What I would encourage you to do is to definitely, you can draw a circle in the middle and just label it earth. You can draw a circle over here and you can label it, or the half, and you can label it sun. Okay, what I would like you to do is I would like you to do your shading of the moon phases. Okay, because that's going to help you with the cookie part of it. So do the shading of the moon phases, drawing your circles, doing your arrows, the way it goes, and labeling them. So yes, I would like you to draw the circles and label and shade in the correct parts. You do not have to color your earth and your sun. Okay, so I would pause it, do this, and then come back for the cookie part of it. All right, so I'm going to turn you and face you down towards my placemat. Then I'm going to do the cookies. You need your cookies, and you need a toothpick. Okay, your toothpick's going to be like your carving device. So, let's open these cookies. It's going to be so tempting for me to not eat one. But here we go. All right, so I'm going to start off with one cookie, and I'm going to show you a pretty cool trick. The reason why I say double stuffed is because double stuffed is a lot easier to twist and break without having frosting on one side. Now, yes, you get a little bit of frosting, and this is kind of where your device comes in. You can easily just kind of, and this is why I like a big piece of paper, because I use it as a placemat. You can easily just shave off the frosting. Okay, and now you have, just by twisting it, you have your new moon. So here's my new moon is where I'm going to start. Okay, it's all shaded and you don't see any of it lit up. And I'm going to put my cookie on top of that. Okay, then, look at that. You have a full moon. It's completely covered in frosting. Okay, there, I'm going to put that right across the way. So I have 2 done. Okay, now again, I'm going to take another cookie. Stay down. And I'm going to carefully twist. Okay, and now I need to do a wax and crescent. So I just need a crescent part of it that has frosting. So I'm going to, my cookie broke. That's okay. That actually might work out. I'm still going to use a frosting because I don't want to waste the frosting. Don't need that part of it. I just need this crescent part. And I'm going to use this cookie. And I'm going to I'm cutting underneath it. I'm using it like a sharp tool. And look, I got that piece of frosting off. Look at that. Ta-da! There's my waxing crescent. So just a thin little sliver of frosting, because that's the part that's lit up by the sun. The rest is in the shadow. The rest is dark. Okay, so that's going to go there. Now, guess what? I'm going to eat it. I love Oreos. They're my favorite cookie. Okay, so I'm going to carefully twist. All right, now I'm on to my half moon. Back you up a little bit so you can see. Where's my device? Now, I'm going to do my best of cutting this straight in half. Because I can use half of it for the first quarter, half moon, and half of it for the third quarter. So I'm going to yes, I just licked my toothpick. Had to get the extra frosting off. There you go. So, here's my first quarter, half moon. I have half of it, and if you want to be really particular, you can scrape off the rest. There we go. So I have my half moon. Okay, my first quarter. Look, see, this side is the part that's lit up by the sun. This part is in the dark. So that's the part that you want to see. It's going to go right on top. Like if you look at it, slide it right over. Okay, then this part I can easily use for down here for my third quarter. I just got to turn it. So this part is the part that's lit up. This part's in the dark. There you go. My half moon was for the both of them. Okay? Both first and third quarter. All right, let's keep going. Yes. Uh-oh. This cookie's broke, but I think I can use it. I need a napkin. Make sure you have a napkin. So, this actually comes in handy. I'm on my wax and gibbous, which is when I broke my cookie. So you see more than half of the moon is lit up. There you go. Okay, it was a little bit more than half. Okay, you can see it lit up, a little more than half, and there it is. I'm going to pause you 1 second. Hang on 1 second. All right. Coming back. So, now we're down to, we had our wax and gibbous, and now we have our full moon when we did it in the beginning. Now we're down to our waning gibbous. That's a broken cookie. You know what I do with broken cookies. I eat them, but I'm going to save that one. Okay, so I'm going to carefully twist. And where's my device? Here's my tool. So now it is a waning gibbous. Okay, so you see it's like a crescent of the dark, and then the rest of it is white. So I'm going to do a crescent. And you can see how I did this. I did a crescent, like the most of it's white, and I'm going to peel that part off. And does it match? The black part, and then the most of it's white. It sure does. I'm going to put it on top, and then my last one is a waning crescent. So I'm actually going to use the cookie part that I just twisted off with the waning and the crescent white that I used, that I cut off of the waning part of the gibbous. Scrape off because the most of it is black. And I'm actually going to put that at top. Finish off my crescent. And look, I used the frosting from my waning gibbous. I took the crescent part off and I put it over here because this is a waning crescent. So it went from a waning gibbous, remember it's shrinking, okay, you're seeing less of the moon, so you saw full moon, then a little bit less, then now you're at half, third quarter, a little bit less, and now you're at a little bit less again. You have just a crescent of it, so most of it is black in the dark, the shadow, and then you have a little crescent that is lit up by the sun. And there you have it. There are our phases of the moon using Oreo cookies. So, hopefully you had fun with this project. Remember, the cool thing about the video is you can pause it, you can do it with me, then you can click play again, and you can see me go for the next. So you can either watch it all the way through, and then you can pause at the end. I'm going to show you the video picture of it. Or you can, like I said, you can pause it and do it with me. So, here is my creation. I'm going to try to turn you around and show you. Ta-da! There it is. And now I get to eat all the cookies. No, I don't. I can't ruin my lunch. I haven't had lunch yet. All right. Have fun with this. Enjoy it. It's one of my favorite things to do, the phases of the moon using Oreo cookies, probably because the cookie part is my favorite part. But hopefully you learned the phases of the moon while you were doing the project and you have fun with it. If you have a chance, have a parent or an adult or someone take a picture of your creation that you did so I can see what you did. All right, have fun, Smarties. Bye.